Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you why I personally believe that June is going to be an amazing month for Bitcoin. As you guys may know, this massive crash that we've seen in Bitcoin back in early March, that more or less happened because of the massive crash in the stock market, the oil market, and the, general society. But over the last couple of months, we've seen that the curve is starting to flatten in America and certainly in the rest of the world, which is a very good thing. Thank God for that. Besides how great of a humanitarian thing that is also having a pretty good effect on markets. Now, I'm not quite sure if the stock market is going to be looking all that healthy in June, but I do think Bitcoin is going to be. I've got a lot of technical analysis to throw you in today's video. I haven't seen really anyone talking about any of this, so I think you're really going to get a lot of value here. If you do enjoy today's video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. But without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Well, good morning, good day, good afternoon. I don't know where you are. Good day. Guys, there is a very important trend that we need to focus on here, and that is the fact that Bitcoin fell 50% in the span of about 48 hours. But, something interesting has happened since then. Bitcoin from that absolute low has rallied another 92% from a bottom of $4,000 all the way to where we're trading now of 7,700. You compare that with something like the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which was at 30,000 points, pulled all the way back down to 18,000. Now we've bounced, but look at this. Look at this stock market. The stock market is starting to flatten out. I'm pretty sure the stock market's going back down, but I don't really see the exact same thing happening in Bitcoin. While right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average and the SPY are both testing resistance at the 50 daily simple moving average, Bitcoin instead is pretty far above it, and this is one of the first points I want to make in this video. Look at what this 50 SMA is doing. We're seeing the 50 simple moving average flatten out, and if Bitcoin stays at these levels, I think it's going to start curving to the upside, something like that, over the next couple of months. But remember, our 200 daily simple moving average is a more lagging indicator, so it's going to keep trading sideways or even slightly to the downside here over the next couple of weeks. And if you'll remember back to a video we did a little while ago, I'll link it up there in the top right, we talked about this cross right here and how significant it is. This golden cross right here between the 20 exponential moving average and the 50 simple moving average, if you look back on the history of the chart, that kind of cross almost always precedes a proper golden cross on the 50 and the 200. By the way, the video where I was trying to explain that golden cross, Bitcoin broke out $400, which kind of vindicated the point I was making of bullishness. I'm moving pretty fast because there's a lot to cover here. Now, let's zoom into the hourly chart. What did we see happen here on the hourly chart? Well, Bitcoin had a downtrend of resistance right here in this kind of bull flag thing. Bitcoin decided to break bullish out of it, come down and test it, and then bounced, and now we're trading at $7,700 when just a couple weeks ago we were trading at $6,700. So what we're saying is that Bitcoin is pretty much outperforming every single other asset class. We're talking stocks, oil, many of the precious metals, more than likely real estate. Watch real estate prices drop 20% over the next couple of years. I guarantee you it's going to happen. In all of that pandemonium, Bitcoin is rallying. But not only that, we've seen a prelude to a golden cross, a semi-golden cross between the 20 and the 50, which almost always leads to a proper golden cross, which almost always leads to a bull market. The MACD is trending to the upside, the RSI is sitting in very healthy territory, and as we talked about a couple of videos ago, Bitcoin's volume has never looked so bullish, or at least it certainly hasn't this year. As you guys can see, volume was very low for the second half of 2019 and the first quarter of 2020, and then this crash happened and boom, the volume came back up and it hasn't gone back down. But where is all this leading? Well, let's back up for a second and do a little bit of fundamental analysis, shall we? Remember how I mentioned the flattening of the curve earlier? If you look at the charts of the number of daily infections, the curve is starting to flatten. The growth rate of the growth rate in America, for example, is slowing down, which is a very good thing. Think about where this crash on Bitcoin happened. Think about what Bitcoin was doing before this crash. Before all of this news came about, Bitcoin was actually in an uptrend. We had seen a golden cross, and it kind of looked like a bull market was starting. In mid-February, we had a pullback, and I would bet that if it weren't for the news, this pullback would not have been so deep, and then this massive crash certainly wouldn't have happened because that happened because of a crash on the stock market. I have a feeling that if it weren't for the news, Bitcoin would probably have never gone back below $8,000. Might explain why we're rallying so quickly, right? Oh, and by the way, don't forget there's a halving coming up in about 2 weeks. So we're seeing the curve starting to flatten, right? That's a very good thing. If you look at what happened in Wuhan, China, where this all started, you're going to find that it took them about 3 months from when they first started seeing a significant amount of cases show up in the reports to when they reopened. I think the number was 84 days, something like that. It took about 3 months. Assuming worst case scenario, something similar is going to happen in America, where we're going to be able to reopen by then, at least to a certain degree. There are a lot of people saying that we need like 12 cases per million so that we can deal with it through contact tracing. Somewhere around there, around that level, we would more than likely be able to properly reopen the country and start having flights and everything again the way that we used to. When did all of this start? Well, in America, it really started to kick off in early March. It means it's been about a month and a half. Where are we going to be in a month and a half from now, 2 months from now? Well, in 1 month, it'll be the end of May, and then a month and a half from now, we're going to be in the middle of June. It's going to be summer. What happens in summer? Well, during a normal time, the summer is one of the most frequently traveled times in the entire world. You can see that in airlines' revenue graphs. What that means is that when all of this is starting to come to an end, the summer is coming. We don't really know what temperature does to this virus, but hopefully it's going to also curtail the effects of it, similar to the way it does with flu. All of those things coming together, Bitcoin is already rallying. We may be in the midst of a recession in June, don't get me wrong, but things as far as society, I think, are going to start to return back to normal. So, what you're saying is that about 2 months from now, we should be expecting a golden cross on Bitcoin. A month from now, actually like 2 weeks from now, we're going to be seeing a golden cross on Bitcoin, which is going to allow the stock-to-flow ratio on Bitcoin to moonshot. The hash power in Bitcoin is the highest that it's ever been. We're clearly seeing a lot of new money come into the space because Bitcoin is rallying so quickly. There's also the argument that soft money is driving our economy right now, and then you have the hard money asset that is Bitcoin, that is a very attractive and lucrative asset, especially when we're looking at probably globally $15 trillion worth of quantitative easing to put off this recession that's coming. When you start to think about it, there's a lot of reasons to believe that Bitcoin's about to have a massive rally, isn't there? Just think about all these people traveling. The airlines are going to start getting some of their revenue back. Everything's going to start returning to normal. All these businesses who have been forced to exist in the state that they are in right now and haven't died yet, hopefully, they're going to start getting some of their revenue back. It's going to be a very good thing. One of you said in the comment section yesterday, so what you're saying is that America is having economic turmoil because people stop buying the things that they don't need. Good point. But the point is that in 2 months or so, people are going to start they're going to start buying stuff that they don't need again. Hopefully, people will start going out to restaurants and movies again in June or July. My point is this summer is looking very good for Bitcoin, and quite frankly, guys, even though everything that's going on right now is a terrible travesty and we would never want it to happen in the first place, since it is happening, it's actually a pretty big opportunity. I'm here to tell you that there are a lot of millionaires and maybe even billionaires in the making right now. Because when crisis happens, when recession happens, when the market tumbles, people make a lot of money. You need to look no farther than Reddit to find thousands of cases of people becoming real estate moguls, massively wealthy in the real estate market after 2008. They bought a house and now it's worth twice what it was. Same thing with the stock market. If you look at the Dow Jones, I have the chart, so let's look. I almost forgot I was a technical analyst for a second. If you look at the bottom of the 2008 crash and see where it rallied to at the end of 2020, the Dow Jones brought back a 360% return. Case in point, people made a shitload of money in 2008. The same thing is going to happen this time. I hope you guys understand that. People made a lot of money in real estate. They made a lot of money in tech. They made a lot of money in stocks. They made a lot of money in precious metals. They made a lot of money in everything during the last recession. This time, Bitcoin is going to be the one to profit, and there are going to be many other things as well. Right now, internet usage around the world is up massively. Look at Steam's concurrent users. They just broke records twice. Netflix is having thousands and millions of more people subscribed, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of hours of watch time. The internet is more popular today than it ever has been in the history of humankind, and where does Bitcoin reside? On the internet. I just want you guys to be thinking about this, because the next couple of months for Bitcoin are looking really good. Unless some black swan event happens in our industry, I think this is a good thing, and hopefully some of you guys bought down at $4,000, because there is about to be a lot of money to be made, and I don't want you guys to miss out on it. I just started my dollar cost averaging back up, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I genuinely think that in a year or two, we could be trading back at all-time high, and then by the end of this decade, Bitcoin could be at over $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, who knows? The point is this. The short term is looking pretty good for Bitcoin. We have that golden cross coming in more than likely sometime this summer. Volume is higher during a crisis, which means that more people are entering Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency space looking for ways to make money online than ever before. Hard money is going to become far more attractive following this recession, especially with the smart money in the next couple of years because of everything that is happening right now with quantitative easing. It really is. There's so much here that to do this video proper justice, I know this video is only about like 12 minutes long or whatever. This should really be like an hour-long video, so I'm going quickly and breezing over a lot of things, but it's a good thing. There's good things coming to Bitcoin. I think I've made myself clear on that. Tell me in the comment section down below what you think. We're going to get back to some actual short-term technical analysis tomorrow. The only thing is, not much is going on Bitcoin, and I could actually see like a short-term correction for the next 2-3 days. So there's not much that I really want to cover on Bitcoin. I will say this. I think Bitcoin's going to hold above 74.50. So watch that for a level of support. But just to make it known, I could see a bit of a pullback on Bitcoin over the next couple of days. As you can see, we've kind of flattened our top out here. So, you know, I could definitely see Bitcoin pulling back here and bouncing. Just, I want to throw that in at the end of the video so that you guys didn't get too over exuberant on the very short term, because I'm not talking over the next week. Everything I just said does not apply to this coming week. This is, you know, longer term forecasts. Anyway, guys, it's been a fun video. I love this mug. Check this out. It says boss on it. Interrupted by my own computer. You're supposed to help me work, not make it harder. What the heck, dude? Anyway, guys, I gotta go fill up my coffee, so that's gonna wrap it out for today's video. The reason the videos aren't like 2 hours long is because I have to interrupt myself to go get coffee. Yeah. Anyway, jokes aside, if you did enjoy today's video, consider following us on Twitter at CryptoJeb. We're trying to get to 2,000 followers over there. We're doing pretty well. We're getting like 100 followers a day because I keep mentioning it. So keep following me. It's pretty cool. Thanks. And if you guys did enjoy today's video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel when you do that. I would be very appreciative. But that is going to have to wrap it out for today's video. Before I go, also, I do want to mention there are a lot of affiliate links down below. There's NordVPN, Binance, Ledger, TradingView, all the products that I use. They're down there. You'll get a discount on pretty much every single one of those affiliate links. I've never mentioned it, so I figured I would here at the end of the video. If you need a Ledger Nano S like I have, feel free to use the link down there. It'll give, I think it gives you a discount and it gives me a cut if you want to support the channel. NordVPN, great service. Highly recommend it. TradingView, obviously, that's a good service. Duh. Binance, there's a 5% trading fee rebate if you use my link down there, actually. That's pretty cool. That can add up to a lot of money. Believe me, trading fees take up a lot of your investment. So yeah, check those out. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it out for today's video. I have a lot of work to do today. I'm working a lot on CT2A. So like I said, that's going to do it for today's video. Before I go, though, I do first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching. As always, though, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.